Chris here with netbookreviews.com, and today I'm doing a short video review of the Lenovo X100e. It has a 1.6 GHz AMD Turion processor. It's dual core actually, so a little bit more power than a typical Intel Atom-based processor, being dual core that is. It also has 2 GB of RAM, 250 GB hard drive. It has the Mobility Radeon HD graphics card inside, 3200, and it has Windows 7 Pro, 11.6-inch screen, and 1366 by 768 resolution. On the sides here, we've got one USB port, and it looks like probably a locking for the netbook. You've also got an SD card slot, or multimedia card slot rather, and 2 USB ports on this side, and Ethernet port, and headphone/mic jack. On the front, or looking at the keyboard, that's probably my favorite part of this netbook, is just the keyboard itself. It's using Lenovo. They came with this new design, these new chiclet keyboards, but what they did differently than what most other manufacturers are doing is they've raised the edges on the sides of the keys, so it does an even better job of helping you hold your fingers inside the keys. You've got two options here. You've got a right clicker on the top part here or down here on the bottom. Both have a nice solid response. Overall, as with most Lenovo products, well, I mean almost everyone, they have a very solid build quality for this machine. It's really feels really sturdy, and you can kind of compare to other netbooks. I won't name the manufacturers, but sometimes they'll the products, when they're done and they're out and you're holding them, they feel cheap. You don't get a feeling of cheapness whenever you're holding something from Lenovo, especially if it's from their ThinkPad line, which is more oriented towards business consumers. So, opening it up, one thing you'll notice too is that this has a matte screen as opposed to a glossy screen, which is always nice for people that like to take their netbooks outside. I'm actually not even really sure why most manufacturers even make glossy screens. Anyways, that's another conversation. Getting into the performance, it's a very snappy netbook, very quick. I notice it when just using it, doing all the types of stuff I use on my normal netbook, the Asus EPC 1008HA. So I've noticed they can do tasks quite a bit faster. I'm sure this is due to the extra RAM, 2 gigs compared to 1, and also a dual core processor as opposed to just a single processor. And obviously an AMD Turion dual core is going to be faster even at 1.6 GHz than an Intel Atom 1.6 GHz processor. That being said, I did find that the battery life wasn't the best on this netbook. I got about 4.5 hours just under normal usage. Most netbooks, 10-inch netbooks at least, offer about 8 to 10 and sometimes even more than that hours. So I'll be a little bit lenient though, because it is more of a business style netbook with a little more performance, so it's going to draw a little more power, and obviously it's a slightly larger netbook too, so that draws more power as well. I would have liked to see more like 6 to 8 hours, but it's still a great netbook. I love the screen resolution and just the clarity of the screen. It's very good. Looking at the performance index from Windows, it gives processor 4.0, RAM 5.0, graphics 3.4, gaming graphics 4.7, and primary disk 5.9. So overall score is always just based on the lowest one, so it's 3.4, which is quite a bit higher than most netbooks. Overall, I really like most of what this netbook has to offer in terms of the overall build quality of the machine. The keyboard is fantastic. I also love the screen, specifically because it's matte and not glossy. I always prefer matte. And overall, it's just general quickness. But the only thing that really kind of lets me down a bit is the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and post some links to pricing and all that so you can see exactly how much this review model costs if you're looking to get the same type of machine. But, for the quality perspective, it's one of the best. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment on the review post, which will be on netbookreviews.com. Thank you for watching.